What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today, we're going to be seeing a Chinese player playing as the French, spawning in on the right side, and on the left side of the map, we have Kaiser Johann playing as the English. Now, the reason I picked this game today was because I got a comment recently asking for some tips and tricks about the French civilization, and that gave me an idea. So I went and dug around and looked for a game that had the French on there that looked good. And these are both Conqueror 3 players, so they are playing at a very, very high level today. And I wanted to see how these high-level players play the French civilization, and maybe we'll extend this. Maybe if you all are interested in it, if you leave a comment for a certain civilization or game type, maybe a matchup, a mirror match or something, if you want to leave a comment with a video idea, I'll pick one out a week and we'll try to make a video based on that comment. And I think that could be a really, really fun way to interact with people in the comments section. So I am going to do my best to try to see how this French player plays this civ at this top level for that comment. I did look for a mirror match. I wanted to find a French versus French, but I just was not able to find it. So hopefully this is a great game today. I picked this because Kaiser Johann is very highly rated. I think they're 14th in the world as of today of this recording. Those ranks do change around a lot at the top. Let's check what each player is scouting. Our Chinese player playing as the French today is just now spotted Kaiser's base as the English. Let's check over here. We see that Kaiser is just scouting out this early deer and probably looking for sheep as well. So I'm going to try to pay a little bit of attention to this French build specifically because I was trying to respond to that comment. And they're just gathering sheep right now. Usually I go for deer as close as I can, but this map right now, Rocky River, usually spawns deer super, super far away from your base. So I understand why our French player has not gone for deer today, because usually it's so far away that it's pretty dangerous to send your troops out on this map in particular. We are going to get an Abbey of Kings out of the English player for the age up, and I'm assuming we're going to get a School of Cavalry for the French player. I don't know how often players play the other option. I did main French for a while when I first started. I've now switched over to maining KT and Japan, but French was my earliest starting skid. Chamber of Commerce! That's the other one! Not a School of Cavalry? That's crazy. Interesting. All right. Well, obviously, I have some stuff to learn here. So this Chamber of Commerce is going to give them a free trader whenever they get economic technology upgrades, and it acts as a market. So it looks like they're going for a trader boom pretty early, trying to get as many traders as possible, and we're going to see a Abbey of Kings go down for our English player and get that free king unit out pretty early. As we can see here, Kaiser Johann is collecting stone. I think that means they're going to go for a second TC pretty early, and our French player is not on stone yet. That stone is going to be very important for our French player later, because if you put keeps down, then in their range, like in an aura effect around them, they reduce the cost of units by 20% at the archery ranges and stables, which are going to be your main two military productions for the French anyway. So you can greatly reduce your military production by just throwing a keep down and save yourself 20% on resources. The French, of course, do have some great economic bonuses as well. I mean the English. I think I said the French there. The English have some great economic bonuses as well. If you build farms within the vicinity of a mill, they start out with 20% increased production rate, and then that increases as the age ups come in. And it looks like we're about to get our first feudal age up. There it is. Chamber of Commerce down. I cannot believe I literally said that I've never seen anybody go Chamber of Commerce, and then immediately this player went Chamber of Commerce. That shows how little I know. One scout running in to harass these age-up villagers working on the Abbey of Kings, but of course the scout damage is so low that I think these villagers are going to be absolutely fine finishing off that Abbey of Kings. First trader is out for our Chinese player on the French today. And the second TC does go down for the English player. This early TC is going to be able to produce a lot of villagers in the long run. So right now the French player is running off of a single TC, but they do have villagers on stone here, so they might be going for a second TC as well. So the English player's TC is going to go down just slightly before the potential French player's TC. And another unique ability for the French is boosted villager production. So they actually produce villagers at a much faster rate. So as long as they get their second TC down as well, they're going to be able to still outproduce the English player in villagers in the long run. So it looks like both of these players are just going for long term gameplay. No rushes yet. Nobody's amassing too many units. We are going to get that first night out for the French. While they're scouting over here, the king has spotted the French scout. And the traders. The king has also spotted the French traders. These could be potentially very easy kills for this king here, because there's absolutely nothing to defend it yet. There's our first knight rolling out for the French player, running in to defend these traders. Are they going to be able to defend the traders? It's going to be close. I think that trader's going to die. First trader does go down, and the king's going to keep chasing the second trader to hurt this early economy out of our French player today. And the king backs away finally after getting that trader down to half health. And we are just seeing the traders roll out for our French player. They went to the trading post right next to Kaiser's base. And we're already seeing these early farms go down. The 20% production boost on these farms is going to be really, really good. There's going to be a lot of value out of these farms right here for Kaiser Johann as the English. That king making their way back to the Abbey of Kings to heal up and not die. And now we are getting that second TC down for the French player. So they are going to be able to keep up with the English double TC here with pretty much no issue at all because of that boosted production rate on villagers. We're getting a barracks down for the English player. And in the center, a knight is chasing off a scout. 3 knights now roll out for our French player. While this scout is up here just hanging out, looking for a place to raid probably. We've got a little party of 3 knights here. I wonder if they're going to push in to the English base. The English have walled off a large portion of this area. Now we've got scouts and kings attacking traders. It looks like they moved the spawn point over to this closer trader because that king did roll out. But this scout is not going to be able to do enough damage, and it is probably going to die to that knight if they don't stay moving. We have more production. Yes, we're getting the spears out now to counter these knights. The English spearmen have arrived to try and fight off these knights. One knight is going to get caught out here, but they can just turn and run away pretty quickly. Where was the other group of knights at? Did I lose track of the other knights? Oh, they're running back here. Looks like they're going for that relic. While these 2 scouts are going to have a little fight and slowly kill each other. The spears are moving their way over here to try to attack this scout. Pretty far away from their main base. While the king has successfully delayed gold production for our French player. And gold is super, super important for the French because both knights and crossbows cost a lot of gold. These traders are not getting a moment of rest with this king. The king will not let these traders trade. Let them be. Let them live, bro. And several knights running out now to try and attack this king. Get them off of that trader. They does look like they're able to successfully save that trader. No, they were not. The trader goes down anyway. And the king is now being chased out by all of these knights. It looks like they're going to just barely escape with the king's life there. They are being chased by all of these knights while we're seeing a raiding party of spears go for these villagers collecting the fish. I don't think our French player has realized this yet. Now they realize, pull their villagers off of the fish there while the king is running in to try to deal some damage. But it might slow them down to get hit by the knights, and it does. Did the villagers attack that king there? I missed it a little bit, but the king dies no matter what because they took time to hit one of those villagers. Unfortunate. These spears are backing up now. Got a good party of knights on our French player side, and these are just so important for raiding. And honestly, I'm a little surprised we haven't seen more raids from our French player today, running in with those knights. I know our English player does have some spears down. The White Tower is going down for our English player. It looks like they're going to be the first one to Castle Age. But also, the Guild Hall is going down for our French player as well. The Guild Hall, of course, accumulates free resources over time. Whatever resource you set it to, while the White Tower acts as a keep. So this is going to be an incredible defensive position here for our English player. Both players are working on the age up to castle while these knights roam the map. And the scout just hangs out. And the traders making their way to this market over here. A good little party of spearmen is collecting outside of the English player's base. These will be very useful in taking on these knights. I think the knights are looking for a place to raid. This is walled off over here. Is that connected? I don't know if that is connected. It's not! The knights just walk in through the gate, through the hole in the wall. Oh my goodness, the units are moving around while a knight runs in to attack these villagers over here. Kaiser does get some villager kills, now at a total of 6 villager kills, while up here, the French player is also getting villager kills as well. A total of 2 villager kills here for our French player, while this one knight in the back is slowly working on those villagers and killing them. The knights do have to run away, though, out of Kaiser's base, because the spearmen are chasing them out. There's a pretty good amount of spearmen there. Got the barracks. We've got a monastery down already. Are they going for relics? There's one relic there. We'll try to find the monks going for relics here. Spearmen, I assume, are going over here to protect this relic, prevent any snipes from the French player, because that relic is right next to our English player's base. Maybe they're going farther. Oh yeah, they're patrolling. They're patrolling that relic right there. The one single knight is still harassing these traders. This is a lot of value. This is a lot of value because the traders generate a ton of resources over time. So shutting this down is really, really good and really, really important for both our players. Oh, so the traders count as villager kills. So that's why that count is up so high right now. There are 9 villager kills, but a lot of those were traders. One single knight getting caught out for our English player right now, while our spears and crossbows have begun to amass. Crossbows are pretty hard counters for knights, as are the spears. So this is going to be a tough little party here to deal with, and they're hiding in the shadows. The knights get caught out for a second. One does fall. One knight is down to those crossbows and spears, while the other 3 are running away, trying to save their lives. And down here we have a scout burning down that mill. A new age begins. Whoa! The French player hit Imperial already? At 13 minutes? Oh my god. So they had no units. That's why they haven't been producing any units. They hit Imperial Age 13 minutes in. That's crazy. Wow, okay. Fast Imperial play from our French player right now. They are behind in unit production, and we can see one monk is going into the center here to grab this relic. The one up here has already been collected. This relic is going to go in for Kaiser Johan's base there. That doesn't make any sense, did it? And multiple knights run out to try to kill this monk. They do take the monk down, so that relic is still up for grabs in the center of the map here. I want to check and see how many relics does our French player have. I'm not seeing a monastery yet. Just seeing that second TC. And over here, just knights running away. So now that they have the Red Palace on the gold, I'm curious. I assume they're just going to get upgrades as fast as possible and try to raid with Imperial units. I'm assuming now that the French player is on Imperial, that Kaiser Johann is also working on Imperial. They've got 1,500 food stored up in the bank, so that makes sense. Looks like they might be going for Imperial while using these units to defend and building a massive wall, walling off this entire section here. There is a massive gold vein over to the left right here, while a scout and a knight are just going to continue burning down this mill and hanging out by the relic. One knight thinking about attacking and deciding that today is not the day. They don't want to die today until they get some reinforcements. This one single trader still going up to this right next to Kaiser Johann's base. Very, very dangerous there. One relic has been collected for our English player. And the mill does fall, finally. Down here, the knights killing the traders again. So much value for our English knights today. That red palace just went down so fast. That's crazy. Right on top of the gold, too, so very successfully guarding that gold. And these have been built inside the production boost aura. They are going to get... Oh, is that a third TC? I missed the third TC. There's a third TC for our French player. Good lord. So with that boosted villager production rate, I think our French player is going to be able to just really, really grow here in villager count and economy. And we're seeing the Imperial Palace go down for the English. 3 TC on French. That's crazy. So they just went fast Imperial and then went to 3 TC right after they got Imperial to really just boost that economy. Is this knight going to fall? It looks like the knights are fighting it out. The French knight is able to secure that victory in that one small little fight. We're seeing a monastery go down for our French player. Wait. Did I miss another TC? Is this 4 TC French? What? My good lord. 4 TCs? Oh my god, Kaiser, I hope you see this. I hope you see that they have 4 town centers. They're producing villagers 4 times as fast. So, editing Cryptic here, and somehow in this madness, I missed that the French player put down a 5th TC. So we are at 5 TCs for this French player, and I cannot believe I missed it while recording, but I did catch it in the edit. And oh my goodness, this was a 5 TC game from our French player. And they also have the French boosted villager rate, as we can see at the top right now. Our French player is at 113 villagers, while our English player is at 86. So a significant lead there for our French player. Kaiser just hit Imperial. They finished that palace there while still attacking our traders in the middle. But this is absurd. The absolute madness of 4 TC on the French. While Kaiser has collected 4 relics in total. That is going to be a lot of extra gold for Kaiser as the game progresses. Kaiser also capturing that sacred site in the middle and the sacred site up at the top. So 2 sacred sites have been secured for Kaiser. It looks like they're going to go start gathering the stone over here, and these villagers are safely gathering gold behind that wall. Kaiser, I need you... What does Kaiser see? Does Kaiser see the other TCs? That's the wrong player. Oh, what? I don't know how it... Okay, hold on. Kaiser only sees the red palace. Kaiser has not scouted out any of those other TCs yet. The English player cannot see that the French player is on 4 TC. Crazy. Wait, is it glitched? This actually, it looks like it's just not showing me any buildings. I'm pretty sure our French player knows where the English TC is. So the view there might be glitched. It was not showing me any buildings for either player, so maybe Kaiser has some TCs. And the French player is now capturing this sacred site on the bottom of the map. Are we getting some more stone production going up for the English? Only 1 relic has been captured for our French player today. But if they are successful in burning down those monasteries, they could potentially snag these. But they are both right next to the White Tower and the Keep. Now these farms are in full effect in Imperial Age. The English get a 30% production boost to these farms, which is super useful. A ton of villagers over here trying to burn down the gate. Was that on purpose? Why were the villagers trying to burn down the gate? Also, these villagers are very, very out in the open. Kaiser, I think, spotted them trying to burn down the gate over here and is moving their military over here to probably just kill all these villagers. I don't know how much this outpost is going to help whenever you're right next to the enemy base. But let's see what happens. So as soon as that mill goes down, it looks like the English army is rolling in very easy kills on these villagers right now, and our French player hasn't realized at all. This is a ton of villagers just died for our French player. I'm not sure why they moved those units over there so close to the enemy base. We got another keep going down with a ton of production buildings going down around this keep. The keep securing the stone and also boosting the production of all of these military production units right here. A ton of more villagers go down over here. The French player losing a lot of villagers, but honestly, they don't care. Look at the villager count at the top. 157 villagers. 162 villagers. That is insane. 162 villagers and almost no army. Only 20 units in their military right now. But all of these traders count as villagers as well. That knight finally going down. The French player protecting their gold out on the edge of the map. While we can see over here that Kaiser Johann is also sending some villagers out of their base to go gather that gold. Several men-at-arms are rolling out now for our English player to tackle this knight. And that knight does fall for our French player while the English military is making their way through the center of the map. It looks like they're about to get ready for a full attack here. Putting down that outpost for the 20% attack speed buff is very, very good. One knight might get cut out by these archers. They barely escape with their life while the king has now joined the party. It looks like Kaiser is going to go for a full attack. A couple men-at-arms die over here for the English player. While down here, the sacred site is being contested by 3 spears. And now Kaiser Johann is making their way over to this side of the map. I wish I could tell what okay, they can see this TC now. They see this other TC, and it looks like they're going to try to punish it. But they pull back. They got a few villager kills, but now they're moving over into the main base for the French player, killing a couple traders on their path. Trying to find a good opening here to attack. The French military is ready for this. Looks like they're going to fall back, and a bombard has rollen out for our English player. They are going for this TC, one of many TCs that our French player has accrued. 160 villagers for our French player today. Absolutely ridiculous. And over on this side, we see the French military moving in to try to attack the English military. They're fighting over this keep. We're now seeing hand cannoneers roll out for the French as well. A good little group of hand cannoneers is going to be able to deal so much damage to these units while the knights are battling the men-at-arms. Back in the back, several knights are going to fall trying to take out those longbowmen. The longbowmen do have the incendiary ammo upgrade. So much damage is rolling out from these longbowmen, but I think they are going to eventually fall to all of these knights. The men-at-arms have completely dissipated from this pack, probably executed by these hand cannoneers from the French. The knights are successfully pushing back this party from the English player while the bombards are doing their best to take out as many knights as possible. The men-at-arms are rolling into the fight as well. The English get boosted production rates on those men-at-arms, but it looks like these longbowmen are going to fall to the knights all the same. The early men-at-arms all died over here in this little area, and they were not able to successfully defend as many longbowmen as I'm sure the English player wanted to defend there. This fight is still raging on. The knights do kill the bombard from the English player. That's a ton of resources lost. It looks like some spears have been routed to the wrong place. Doesn't look like they're going to the correct area. And now that more spears are joining the fight, these knights are dying. And now our French player is just rolling out a ton of horsemen to try to counter these longbowmen in this fight here. And the keep has gone up right here for our French player. This is going to be a significantly better area to defend, while the horsemen are trying to make their way around and encircle these longbows. Longbows are now targeting the gold villagers right here near this fight. Those gold villagers were in a ton of danger, and it looks like now all of the knights have been completely wiped out for our French player. And the English army is making their way into the French player's base. A ton of horsemen have now rolled out. They're going to try to get over here and counter these longbows, but they are just successfully being taken down by the longbows as well. The English player's military is much larger than our French player's army today. And oh my god, several horsemen in the back killing these gold villagers. Kaiser Johann just now realizes a ton of horsemen and knights are going to be able to get a ton of kills over here. Oh, they didn't pull off to the keep. They just went to the other gold. I thought Kaiser pulled him off to the keep, but he doesn't know yet. But in the middle of the map, Kaiser is also taking out a ton of gold players for our French player right now. So many villager kills right now. Kaiser Johann is at 55 villager kills, while the French player is at 20 villager kills. But still, even with 55 villager kills and a keep down on this gold pile right here, our French player is still ahead. That quadruple town center is absolutely absurd. The French player trying to push into our English player's base while the English player is taking down a keep right outside our French player's base. There's battles happening everywhere on this map right now. This is absolutely ridiculous. And the French player got a ton of horsemen into the English player's base, taking out these villagers. Kaiser Johann pulling back these villagers as quickly as possible, but several more are going to fall. While these knights are working down this keep slowly, the French player did get a keep down right here to try to deny this gold, but the gold has already been gathered. While this raiding party is moving in to kill these villagers, collecting wood, and now a massive French military has arrived to take out these longbows. Non-stop action here in this match. This is incredible. The spears and longbows running in to try to fight these knights, but there's just so many knights. I think the spears and men-at-arms are going to get overpowered here. A ton of military production going down for our English player, while this keep is protecting some of these villagers over here to the left, and this military has been successfully cleaned up by our French player. The French player has annihilated a vast majority of our English players' army, but they are rebuilding super quickly. Both players have a ton of villagers still. Kaiser Johann has killed 77 of our French players' villagers, but our French player is still at 145 villagers. That's ridiculous. And our French player has successfully killed 30 of our English players, which brings them down to 93. Absolutely absurd. Several knights getting caught out here. This probably was a misclick. Did not intend to run those into the army. And up here, oh my goodness, up here to the north, we're seeing a huge wave of knights. Absolutely massive wave of knights. This could be truly devastating. Multiple battering rams going in to take out this English player's keep. Several production buildings falling for the French player while the knights are running into the base. This could be absolutely devastating if they auto-attack. Oh, they ran past a ton of villagers. They're trying to make it into the back. Now they're going to go in for the attack. This could be a ton of kills for our French player. A ton of kills running. A ton of kills by these knights on the villagers. Oh my god, and the villager kills just keep climbing. They have killed so many villagers in this area right here. The villagers just cannot find safety at the moment. Those knights infiltrated the back of the base so well. And this raid is devastating for our English player. We are now down to 69 villagers for the English player, while our French player is at 148. The English army over here looks like they cleaned up some French units, but leaving all of those units so far away from base has meant that they cannot defend from all of these knights raiding the base. And Kaiser sent the villagers back to work, but the knights are not gone yet, so they can get even more villager kills. And now the French player has pretty much evened up the villager kills. And now both players have about 75 and 78 villager kills over in this area. That's crazy. Kaiser has fallen behind so much in Kaiser has fallen so behind villagers here that the economy is going to take a massive hit. This military doing their best, but in the long run, that 144 villagers for our French player is just going to be absurd. Is 4TC the new French meta? Surely not. Surely this is just like a crazy game. More units are rolling out to try to defeat this army here. This is Kaiser Johann's last army. Their main military here not being moved back to defend from these knights. These knights are still just out here raiding away, getting a ton of kills. And oh my god, Kaiser is now down to 45 villagers. Our French player has successfully killed 98 of our English players' villagers today. That is crazy. And these units are still just fighting it out over here. This is a vast majority of our English players' military. These knights are finally getting cleaned up out here, but the damage is done. We are looking at a game where Kaiser has 45 to 135 villagers, and he calls it. GG, Kaiser Johann did surrender as the English, and that was crazy. So I think the 4TC play is ultimately what led our French player to the win. That massive raid there at the end where they ran all of their knights in and killed all of the villagers was so devastating for our English player that I do not think they could recover. And also this boom of villagers after they got that 4th town center down is just crazy. And they also hit the 13-minute Imperial. Absolutely insane gameplay from our French player today. I think they did an absolutely incredible job. And these players playing at the top level are really, really fun to watch. And I hope just that commenter learned one thing today from the French player, because I am not the teacher. These players are the teacher. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. I really hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope to see each and every one of you in the next video. Bye.